right, tonight on the Fatherhoods podcast, we got a legend with us. He was one of Boston's first to put the city on the map, and man, he's just got legendary albums, and he pretty much created the anthem for what this podcast is based off of. Welcome, Ed O.G.
What's up, Kings?
What's good?
How's all right? Chilling, man. Chilling.
Nice. Yo,
now,
I was good. Go ahead. I was
just going to say before we jump into getting into all our questions, I know E, you had an org that you wanted to talk about. That
I've been trying to
last go around. We keep
plug
forgetting
it for like 2 episodes. Y'all keep fucking me up, man. Real quick. So I had seen my girl send me this link to watch this documentary, and it was about some dude that started this organization. It's Operation Underground Railroad, and they basically rescue children from sex trafficking all around the world. It's based out of the U.S. It's like a dude that was like CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, and then he just got into this. So I'm gonna send y'all. We'll put the link in
show notes,
description, and I donated some bread. I even hit them up. I'm like, yo, if you need someone to go on raids, they were like, you kind of have to be a trained, ex-military. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of trained, It's just, you watch the documentary and you get real heated seeing what's going around. And what's dope about them is like they're saying, well, this is what's whack. The U.S. is actually the biggest consumer of child pornography and in terms of like going to other countries and doing stuff in terms of like, exploitation of children. So we're like drugs. It's like the same shit as the war on drugs. So these dudes, their whole thing is like they're trying to get the U.S. on board to go and do operations all around the world, and get these kids out of these situations. And it's some real sad ass shit. So I just I want people to check it out, and if you think it's dope, donate, and if you just support it or share the link. I just think it's a really dope cause, and everybody should get involved with it.
So the name again is Operation Underground Railroad, like Harriet Tubman style.
Ourrescue.org. Ourrescue.org is the website, and Operation Underground Railroad.
Okay. Sorry, Ed. I know that was kind of heavy.
I've been trying to plug that, so thank you for being patient.
That's dope info, man. Word up. I'll send a link to the doc. I want to check it out too.
Yeah. And there's stuff here going on too. They're not just going out of the country. They're rescuing kids here as well.
Crazy, yo. So Ed, man, why don't we just get straight to it, right? Be a father to your child. Yes. What sparked that? I mean, there's obviously a story about it out there in the world, but we want you to kind of just catch everybody back up because they might have been a little while since they might have heard it. So like,
yeah, exactly. I mean that song. I didn't have any kids at the time, and I wrote. Nah, no kids.
Yo.
That's crazy.
No kids. You know what I'm saying? I grew up without a father, like most kids did that grew up. I'm from 70s baby. You know what I'm saying? And growing up being a teenager in the 80s, and out here in Boston, it was just cool to say the kid's not mine. Like, I don't know if y'all experienced that growing up, but the first thing a dude would say is, oh, that's not my baby. Yeah. That was the first thing out, knowing you going raw up in her, knowing you know what time it is.
Right.
So my thing was I wanted to, make cats be responsible because I just used to see nothing but single girls. And in the 80s, it was big teen pregnancy thing going on. So all I would see was young girls pushing babies, no fathers, no interaction. And it just one day sitting in my window, looking out the window, seeing, a bunch of different strollers passing by, it just sparked the idea like, man, I need to write a song about this. And I did.
Did you think it would be as, I mean, I don't know how it was when it came out. Was it a success when it came out?
Yeah. It was definitely a success.
It seemed like it to us, but I don't know how it was to you,
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was definitely one of the songs, man. It got me on Video Music Soul with Donnie Simpson.
Nice.
Wow. Rap City was, of course, in Yo MTV
Right.
Raps, but then when you got to sit down on the couch with Donnie with the green eyes, man, you know what I'm saying? That was like, that record put me there. So,
Right.
you know, for me, it was like a step up. And, you know, it changed. I definitely know it changed a lot of brothers' way of
Perspectives.
thinking.
Yeah.
And you know, to try to step up, because the visuals with the video and everything, and I think it just really made dudes not want to be deadbeats after that record. Like everybody would, you see a deadbeat, it was like, yo, be a father to your child, man. You know what I'm saying? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think it really just planted that seed into all of us. Like, because I knew when I had kids, I wanted to be an Uber father. I didn't want to be some deadbeat dude, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't around and in their kids' lives, man.
Not to be confused with driving an Uber.
Right.
And
That's
being
why.
a father.
That's why I laughed. That's why I laughed. I thought you was like that. I'm gonna just see him on the weekends, like boom, and I'm out.
That's the new shit. I'm an Uber
like
father.
Before Uber.
The super father, the big dog father.
Yeah. Word up, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially for you know, Black and Latino men, you know, us growing up all in the same environment. You know, a lot of Latin fathers was in the home. That's one thing I can say. You go to any of my, their dad was there. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, a lot of them too wasn't. So we, you know, us, we had to be that next generation, to be the responsible generation, to make the younger dudes that came after us be responsible, and so on and so on.
Why do you think hip hop gets a bad rap in terms of that the whole parenting and more specific fatherhood?
I don't think we get that bad of a rap now. I mean,
no, not now, but there was a stretch where it seemed like we were getting a bad rap.
You know, I mean, I think that's probably more so on the dads and, you know, the mothers and whatever was going on in those situations, man. But I think for me, at least what I seen, I didn't really see any bad raps. I don't know anybody in specific, or if you're just talking about in general. But
I guess in the culture, I guess, you know, the whole thing with baby mama this and baby mama drama this and Maury Povich and this, that, and the other. It just seemed like culturally that's the stereotype of hip hop at that time. It's changed with time, thankfully. And that's what we also wanted to be a part of. But it felt like there was a time period where it was like people just weren't like owning up, just like what you saw.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It was the stereotype on top of that.
I got you exactly with the Maury and all of that. And so it was pretty big, man, with that. But I mean, just us, you know, showing, I think, I don't know, man. I just think everybody, cats that have babies now, and, you know, from that time on, after that record, kind of really took it a little more serious, even though culturally you had the Maurys and all of that. But, you know, dudes, I know so many dudes, man, that stepped up to the plate. I know brothers that raised kids without the mothers, because the mothers was, you know, messed up. You know, a lot of guys like that, man, that need to be commended and saluted, and we don't get enough of that. So this Fathers is great platform, need more. You know what I'm saying? Just to show, you know, we're not appreciated enough, I think. You know what I'm saying?
And dudes that take on kids that aren't even there sometimes. I've seen that.
Exactly.
Many situations.
Yeah, exactly. Many situations, guys come in and, you know, do it like that, man. And you know, raise up other men's kids or whatever, and build that family and that strong foundation. And that's what we need. That's what our young, you know, boys need. They need to see somebody in there that they can look up to, because most of us, we didn't have nobody in the household to look up to except for moms. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have that male figure in the house, man, to know, you know, this is how you do it. Or even for me as a youngster, you know, I had to talk to all my boys about sex. I couldn't talk to moms. We figured it out.
Right. It's true.
I didn't have an older brother, you know what I'm saying? That I could be like, yo, what? It was just me and my boys.
Yeah, same
you
here,
know what
same
I'm saying?
here. Yep.
Like, what you go to mom? Come on, you know what I'm saying?
Someone will go and sneak off and buy like the penthouse joint. Well, this is what it's all about.
Word up, man. Shit, the magazines under the mattress.
Yo, Ed, you said you wrote that song before you even had kids, and you kind of walked through what inspired that. How did your life change, like, and maybe relative to the song? Like, did you find yourself living your lyrics when you had your seeds?
Yeah, man. But it's high expectations too. You know what I'm saying? No one's perfect. So, You know what I'm saying? I'm the be a father to your child guy. So I can't be a deadbeat type of dude and all of that. And, I had a lot of problems with my oldest daughter's mother. So it was just drama until she became an adult. Thank God she's 28 now. Good. The drama is over. But that's what made it kind of a little sticky. You know what I'm saying? In being there when I wanted to be there, and if having those issues with the mother, and I can't see her when I want to. I went to the court, tried to get full custody. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them kind of guys. Right. So it's like, just a lot of drama. So it wasn't the best experience. My thing to all the young fathers out there, try to be as cool as you could with the mother. If you guys are not getting along, you know what I'm saying? Try to make it peace, because you don't want to be growing up, have the kids growing up in a, whole fighting situation all the time. You know what I'm saying? So if you could be, I know it's hard, you know what I'm saying? And if I could go back, I probably would have been a little more chill than I was. But, you can't take back what happened. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would advise everybody to just try to make it smooth, man, a smooth transition with the mother. You know what I'm saying?
When it wasn't peace with your daughter's mother, did that have impact on your daughter and how she felt about you, with any kind of backlash like that going on?
Yeah, of course, moms is gonna, she lives with mom, so moms has a greater influence on the everyday life and when she can see me and blah blah blah. So of course, but we have a great relationship now. I mean, we've had a great relationship for a long time, but of course, you go through those ups and downs in those situations, man, and try to do the best you could do. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did you get any backlash from peers or other dudes when the song came out, like them? Because I think this is probably one of the first times that it could be noted that a song like this, talking about being a positive role model and a dad, had been on wax. I mean, from a hip hop perspective, I don't know if there's anything else prior to that. But I mean, did you ever hear back from dudes like, "Oh man, why you rhyming about that kind of thing," as opposed to whatever else was popular at the moment?
Never. Nope, never, man.
That's cool.
Everybody was really, really like, yo, because it was so different. I think it kind of, caught everybody like by surprise. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody, and I actually was like, I had commercials for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, like, with the Be a Father record. So it did a lot, man. It really, went into places that hip hop wasn't getting into at the time.
That's ill. So you mentioned your oldest daughter. How many kids do you have total?
I got 3. I got a stepson, I got my daughter, and I got my youngest son, who's 19. He's right here. You want to come in?
Yeah, come in.
He's this generation.
Oh, that's ill.
Yeah, it's that generation. Yeah. That's totally different from the 90s babies, man. These 2000 babies are something else, man.
Do you find, so like, if you compare, raising your daughter, and granted you had a lot of like challenges with that relationship and your participation in raising her, but comparing that upbringing to your son, the one that was just on here now, what's the biggest difference you find in being able to raise them?
Shoot, when you with them, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I mean, that's it. There's nothing better to me, man, than, really taking them home from the hospital and, since this dude came out, you know what I'm saying? He been right there. And it's just it's a different thing, man, having them with you all the time and growing up, you get to mold and shape.
It's hard to leave them.
Yeah, it's not being a weekend dad, you know what I'm saying? Where you could only do so much in the time allotted, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to be there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's the best, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm done. Never will I ever have any more kids. Ever.
Oh man, you're talking to Manny.
Manny Digital. You want to give if any of y'all old dudes out there still having kids, y'all, God bless you, but y'all crazy. Y'all crazy.
Well, at least that was you.
One of my mans, the Bulldogs, he got a 2-year-old. He's 52.
Wow. He's wilding.
He is wilding. I told him he's wild.
I got a 2-year-old. I'm 45, and that's tough, man.
Oh man, 2? Oh,
I got an infant right now.
Oh, God bless you, bro. God
about
bless
10.
You.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah.
About 10 years ago, I knew a dude down in Atlanta, and he was 62 at the time, and he got with a woman who was like in her mid-20s and ended up having a newborn baby when he was 62.
Yo, son, nah. Not
yeah. But I mean, if you 62, you more like a pimp.
That's what I was thinking pimp, but I didn't
like a 20-something year, you're more like a G, like top of the line G. At that point.
But he was ready to, go back to doing diapers and all that kind of stuff at that age.
Wow. Man, the sperm still work, man.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
It turn off. It don't turn off ever.
Yo, so with your youngest son, Ed, like, as it relates to music, like, you kind of alluded to this generation and the differences and the wild, kind of style. I got a 13-year-old, so I'm kind of in the zone also. What is it with Yeah, I know what's up. So you with music in particular, you coming from the era of rap that you come from and what he listens to, how do you guys like relate or not based on what the style of music you guys like?
He grew up with the real, of course, because of who his dad is. So he knows what that is. But this is his generation of music, and it's their time, and I can't relate to him at all with his music, bro.
Do you try?
Some of the songs are cool. Yeah, for sure. Some of the songs are cool, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like 90% is like, what is this, bro? Like, I don't understand this right here, man. And I understand hip hop, but I mean, I get it. So, like I said, man, it's their time. I'm not mad at it. It's just not my shit. You know what I'm saying?
But does he respect where you're coming from and the fact that you're still an artist doing what you do?
Of course, because I took him on tour. So he'd been on tour with me. I took him to Europe, and he did a couple of tours and did some festivals over there. And, he loved that. So he got to see both sides of, how it looks. I mean, we did a joint out in Czech Republic, Hip Hop Camp. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that festival, but it's a huge festival. And like young M.A. was there, and she was kind of popping. This was about 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. So, he got to see her there and, wild out, mosh pit and do all of the shit that the white people do in Europe. And, he got to see real hip hop and, he got a taste of everything. So he likes it. He loves it, man. He's about, he grew up with it, but his shit is his shit. It's just, I don't know. Can you relate to your 13-year-olds? Are you like?
It's actually a good question. So I generally speaking, no, the answer is no. Generally,
okay. All right,
I try though to vibe with her. right? What's interesting though, like, and I mentioned this to the guys via text the other day, 2-3 days ago. She comes downstairs with a bandana on some Tupac shit, right? She got to, put on the same way. She don't know who Tupac is. So I go, oh shit, look. I tell my wife, oh shit, look, she's wearing it like Tupac. And my daughter's like, Burr? And my wife's like, yeah. So I go, yo. So now we got the luxury of like, I could just tell the speaker, yo, play Tupac, play whatever, right? So I did. We happened to be in the same room, and then Tupac starts playing. I think it was All Eyes on Me. And she's listening, and I'm like, yo, I left the room, but I was like, listen to the song, listen to it all the way through, because these motherfuckers, they're like 2 seconds of a song, and then they switch to the next song. I'm like, just listen to this shit, and then tell me what you think. And then I was fully expecting her to be like, yo, Dad, that shit's trash. She came out, and she was like, yo, I like it. I was like, oh shit, this is like I was really astonished because I wasn't expecting it. So it's like, and I'm a big Jay-Z guy, so she still hasn't really like fucked with Jay like I fuck with Jay. So when she said that about Pac, I was like, oh shit, there's still hope. Like, there's an opportunity here. Yeah. So those moments I like.
You just gotta bang them for her when she's in the car with you. That's all you give her.
Yeah, you got to give them that nostalgia. Later on, they'll come back to it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So you working now, right? Ed, like projects wise. I know you just dropped the new video. I think today.
Yeah. I dropped just recently. I just dropped my documentary. I Gotta Have It. It's on Amazon Prime, on all the streaming networks, Apple TV, and that's just basically about. It's called I Gotta Have It. It's basically about the song and what the song did for me. You know what I'm saying? How that one record kind of changed my whole life and from where I was at, you know what I'm saying? And then so on in my whole career, basically surrounding the song. So I just dropped that in June. It's been out for a few years, but we never put it up. It was with my last album, Freedom. Worked on new album now. I got probably like 4 new projects coming out. We didn't drop anything this year because the year, you know what I'm saying? So
skip this year.
Yeah. This is like a skip
wash.
But definitely probably drop some singles this year and a few videos though, just to put some stuff in out there. And then next year is the 30th year for my first album for Edo G and the Bulldogs.
Congrats.
So hopefully we could get back to some, normalcy and do some touring. And, I'm going to drop a project with them as well next year to bring the old band back.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? For the 30th year.
Dope. Hey, going back to your upbringing and not being raised with your dad around, did you even realize when you're growing up that you were missing out on having your dad around, or was it just an afterthought of like that's just not part of your life? And how did that relate to how you wanted to be a dad?
Not really, because honestly, everybody in my where I lived in my buildings, nobody's dad lived there. Like nobody, you know what I'm saying? All my boys, my best friends, it was just them and their moms and their sisters or brothers or whatever, what have you. So, the only thing, my pops, he got killed. He got murdered when I was like 7. So I knew, I had a relationship with him up until then. And then he had moved down south. So I used to go to Alabama every summer, before he died. But, my friends, their pops would come on the weekends or something to pick them up. That was probably the only difference, man. But other than that, nah, it wasn't. It was just kind of normal that there was no dads around in the whole neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Damn. So like literally no role models to speak of. Like that shit was completely normal.
Yeah, I mean, one of my boys, the Bulldogs, my man G, his pops was around, and he's a good dude, but he was like in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He lived there, but he was like in the street. So nobody was really there. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole neighborhood, man. So, I think a lot of black kids can tell this same story, man. It don't matter where you from. You know what I'm saying? That time period was like that.
That was like what year was that was like in the 70s, you said? No, 70s, 80s?
Yeah, well, I was born in 70, so that was like, from the 70s and 80s, man. I was a teenager, you know what I'm saying, about 80, 83, late 83. So, yeah, I mean, just, that whole time period from all growing up until I got my record deal, me and all my boys, none of their pops was around.
And what role you think music had in helping you even cope with maybe the absence of a father?
I think when you not really knowing when the person is not there, like wasn't there, you don't really miss what wasn't around. You know what I mean? So, but music, my mom's was definitely into all kinds of music. So that's why I got, all my musical influence from. She bought the breaks. She brought the Christmas rap. That was my first rap records in the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, she was on it. She was definitely a music head, and all my family, they love music too. So that was a big part of our family, music. You know what I'm saying?
Because when I was a kid, I would say this all the time. My pops wasn't around either, and I felt like hip hop was almost like a surrogate father. Because my mom is the type of person like, oh, you get in a fight, you could cry, you go to the principal, come to me, and we'll talk to the parents, and that shit ain't flying, So it's like all my shit that I felt like my dad probably would have been kind of like roughing me up a little bit. Hip hop helped me kind of, taught me some of that shit. So I felt like it was kind of my surrogate father to a degree.
Oh, man. Yeah, bro, when me and my moms finally moved out of the one bedroom and I finally got my own room in 82, and I got, what do you want for your birthday? I want a record player. That's what I want. 2 tape decks, the 2 tape deck joint.
Yeah.
And, I got that, and I feel the same way. I was like in my room, headphones, records, tapes, like, just in a zone in my own world, man, listening to this music, listening to the radio stations when they came on at night, play and record, trying to record everything I could. Like, yeah, so it definitely was, I feel you on that. Like, it definitely was like a crutch. Like, you could sit there in your room and lean on that.
Right.
And it'll take you away from whatever was going on at the time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do you explain or try to like have your 19-year-old, just since we saw him most recently, but generally your kids, like in this moment in time, shit is all fucked up, right? Like nobody's ever been through some shit like this before. How do you as a dad try to keep them from losing it? Because it's hard enough on us as, going through all this shit. How do you keep a level head and then share the necessary knowledge so they keep it together?
Well, yeah, I try to, let him know what's going on in the world. Really, like, this is what's happening, so you're aware of what's going on. He already knows as a black man. I think it's just ingrained in you from birth. You know what I'm saying? What this country stands for. You know what I'm saying? And I've taught him all of that, so at this time, I'm just trying to keep him safe, keep him in the house, mainly. We ain't doing too much anything at the time. So, trying to just keep them focused and safe on the future. You know what I'm saying? The brighter future, and not getting caught up in everything that's going on outside, because it's so crazy, man. Like anything, he could go to the store and something could happen, God forbid. Like it's really just that crazy out here now. So, my eyes is on him. He's staying close to me. He's in the crib, basically. I ain't letting this nigga go nowhere. So
get your ass over here.
Yeah. His rope is real small, man, because it's just so wild out here. And then you got, cats in the hood acting even more stupid because of the pandemic. More people done been shot now. Like, what are y'all doing? Yeah. I don't understand what's going on now. Right. Like, why is there more shootings now? New York. Why is New York, like Boston, all these
Chicago,
cities?
yeah.
what are y'all doing? I'm not understanding that. So it's just too crazy. You got, cops, racists, your own people everybody trying to kill us. Everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's dope that you've taken them on the road, because I definitely feel that taking kids, your kids, getting them out of the country, getting out of their neighborhoods, it shows them that the world's a bigger place and their small little problems, he says, she said in the hood or whatever, that's small compared to the world out there.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That was a key thing, man, getting them over there and letting them experience that. I took them to Amsterdam for a few days to just chill. Like, I took them all around. So we got to see a whole lot of stuff, man. And more coming in the future as soon as the gates are back open and the borders are open, we head right back over there, man. Yeah. So
could you see a difference in him when he came back from some of those trips? I mean, even if it's small, but just like in his mode of thinking.
Yeah, definitely. His eyes were open more to know that there, like, EU was just saying that there's so much bigger than just around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really big. There are people everywhere, like shit's going on, all over the world, man. Right. And he's into music too. He raps and modeling, and there's more opportunities everywhere, not just here. You can't just think about that. We can go to Europe and there's a lot of opportunities for you there as well, So he knows now the broadness, and he likes Europe. He likes, because over there, kids, a lot of countries now, they raise it up to 18, but it was like 16, you an adult.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can hang out, you can party, go to shows, do all of the stuff. So, it's just a different way of thinking. Those kids have a different mentality at teenage years than, American kids from my observation, being over there a lot. So, yeah, he got to see that. Go ahead.
Did your son, and these are my assumptions, you correct me if I'm wrong here, I assume he just looks at you as dad, regardless of what your hip-hop persona is, you just dad. But did he like get awakened to how legit of an MC you are and the respect you bring when he went overseas? Was that like the moment?
Yeah. That was really the big eye opener. When you see 5,000, 6,000, you're doing these festivals and people going crazy, and he's on stage with me, so he get to feel the energy and feel everything. So yeah, it definitely, like, he really got to see it.
And were you like, yeah, motherfucker, I told you I was some serious shit. Did you? I would have let my kids have it.
Nah, because he wasn't like, nobody don't know you.
Oh, okay.
Like, he wasn't on like that. He knew what it was, but he just ain't seen it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The impact.
To that effect. Yeah, he didn't see it to that effect. So once he got to see that, then he was like, oh shit, okay. I see why you be going over here all the time. Now I understand. Okay, I get it.
What's your take on discipline, and how do you handle discipline in the household from when he was a child to being a teenager?
I fucked them up. He's good. You know what I'm saying? But I don't play all of that. I'm from the 70s. I'm not an abuser, but sometimes, all the talking, they just don't get it at some point. Like, especially boys is a different thing than girls. You can maybe have a conversation with them. They're a little more intelligent, younger growing up than guys. It's just, it takes us a little while longer. Sometimes we got to beat it into our own heads to get it. You know what I'm saying? With boys. So, but, he wasn't a bad kid enough, and I didn't really have no street type, crazy type drama. But I believe in discipline, man. Like, if you acting up too much, man, you got to get something. Something got to happen.
No timeout.
Nah.
No. Use your words.
Listen, we are in the you know, we're in that time where everybody gets a trophy, even if you lose.
Yeah, man.
So
Right.
we in that time. Like
We're all winners here.
Yeah, we're all winners.
No, we're not. There's winners and there's fucking losers. Excuse me. But that's what it is.
Right.
Like
You can try again, but you're still a loser.
That's life. If you don't teach them now, you know, how are you raising kids where you know what I mean, where they think they all winners?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's a. I mean, there's been research around it, but like the entitlement comes from a lot of it comes from that. It's like everybody's on top of the world. So when you grow up, what else you gonna think it is, right? Rude awakening.
It's a messed up mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because even with us, I'm not a rich man. I'm not like, you know, some crazy like I'm Jay or anything like that. But I'm saying our kids now, they this younger generation, they growing up with everything. They don't want for nothing. They don't need nothing. Whatever they want, they get.
Yep.
We didn't grow up like that. You know, it had to take some time. We had to work on that to get to that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get everything.
Put it on layaway.
Yeah.
Layaway was
layaway, word up.
Just to get your moms to put it on layaway.
Yeah. These kids now, they like got everything. So they already feel privileged. And they in the we all get a trophy generation. You know what I'm saying? And this is black kids. I'm talking about, like, I'm not talking about some rich suburban kids. I'm talking about regular, even kids in the hood. They still growing up not really wanting that much. Their parents are doing everything so they could be good. You know what I'm saying? So these kids have a different mentality and outlook on stuff now. They think they're supposed to get shit.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Shorties. Like, you just bought me something last week. What does that mean? Like, you know what I mean? So they just feel like they should just get, you know, and you got to teach them work, man.
They got to learn how to fail for sure.
Yeah.
My daughter asked me for, this is the first year actually, she's asking for like clothes. Like we're already talking about like for Christmas. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? But she's like, yeah, you know, I just want some clothes. And I'm like, okay, that's doable. And then she's like, yeah, maybe a pair of Jordans. And I was like, raw. But then I was like, you know what? Yeah, because I bought my first I bought my first pair of J's when I was 31, right? Because that's when I felt like I got enough Skrilla for that shit not to really make that big of a dent for me. So, but now I got like 30 pairs, right? So she looks at my wall of kicks and she's like, "Yo, those are fly," and I'm like, you know, we kick it on the sneaker tip. And then she hit me with the Jordan shit. And I think this will be her first pair of Jordans if I do buy them for her. And my immediate reaction was like, fuck that. I ain't buying you no fucking Jordans. It took me 31 years to get my first pair. And then I'm like, I can't be like that. I can't be like that, you know? If I got it, it's not a big deal. Let's do it.
You know, it's funny. It's even like, it's like even with toys, like right in front of me, I got these shelves. And you know, I collect some like Star Wars toys. And I'm like, because when you was a kid, you couldn't afford it, you couldn't get it. So now I understand. Yep. I used to look at adults like, why the fuck you got toys, man? But now I get it. I'm like, oh man, I can afford this shit now. I'm gonna go and get all the retro shit I could never get when I was a kid.
Exactly, man. I wish I would have saved all my shit, man.
Oh man.
Word up. Kwame, you know Kwame's big, so you know you better. I know you probably already talked to him, E.
Yeah, nah. So
I wish I have a problem with just like I'm able to provide, you know, for my son with almost anything he wants, and so I have to try to get myself to cut back sometimes because it's like, you know, you want to give them stuff, but at the same time it's like, man, I don't want to just totally overdo it and create a
you gotta
situation.
Make them earn it. You gotta make them earn it. Yeah. You know, sometimes you gotta put them, you know, give them a task or something. Man.
It's tough because you wanna do what wasn't done necessarily for yourself. So you kind of like overcompensating. I have a bad habit. Every time I go to the store to get anything, I buy my daughter something.
But not your son? Or you talking about
my son's a baby? He's a baby. What the fuck is he? When am I gonna get him?
He's gonna hit you with some shit later, like but for her, but not for me. Oh, I don't care if I couldn't talk.
Nah, later on I'm gonna be like, you guys have to share this shit. But I still complain every day. I complain because we got a whole area of her toys, and she just wants to watch cartoons on YouTube, and I'm like, hold up a second. This shit look like a Toys R Us right here. I didn't have none of this shit growing up.
That's your fault.
You need to get creative and play.
You buying shit for you. You're not buying shit for her.
Right.
Yo, Ed,
man. The kids get everything, B.
They do. I got a question because all three of us on the fatherhoods, we all have a son. I have 3 kids, but everybody here at least has a son. Your youngest son is what? You have 1 boy, was it, and 2 girls?
Yeah, I got a stepson.
Stepson, your son, 30. And then your daughter. So
my daughter, 28.
All right, so you having a 19-year-old son, what are we in for with our kids? Because our kids are way younger, that we need to pay attention to when they're getting into that, those teenage years. Like, what has been your biggest challenge with your son?
Man, keep them away from the rap culture, man.
Oh, shit.
God damn, so influential. It's terrible, man. Yo, look, my young son, when he was in 7th grade, this dude tried to bring cough syrup to school to leave.
Oh, fuck.
He brought the cough syrup from the crib. Fucking codeine in the crib. He brought regular cough syrup. I had to go up there, I had to whoop his ass for that. That was an ass whooping. When he got home, he got fucked up. Keep them away from the rap culture.
Oh, wow. Shit.
Please. Right. It could be good, like be a father. It could influence in the positive or in the negative, man. But it definitely, you got to balance that. That was one of the things, man, like all of the kids, the social media and the social media stuff is crazy. I'm glad my son... Yeah, I'm glad he didn't. He grew up with it, but he's not to the point where everything matters about that stuff. You know what I mean? So don't let them get into it where, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Where they worried about likes and all of the superficial shit that don't really matter in real life. You know what I'm saying? Because they can really get caught up into that quickly and, get their mind kind of jungled up with, all of the bullshit that's out there. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the early problems. But after that, all good. He's been cool. Everything has been peace as far as that goes. But I think just make sure y'all monitoring that internet use, man, somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying?
That's difficult, man, because I feel like, they're creating these apps that we don't even know about. The kids get put onto it. And the technology is even beyond us of how they even grab people. And
yeah, it's mad difficult, man. But, just let them know that world is that world. And we live in a real physical world, man. You know what I'm saying? With out here, like everything there, of course, it matters in certain regards if you're a celebrity or whatever, if that's what you do for your business. But just don't let them get caught up in the bullying and you got girls and the haters and that stuff can get into your mind. We strong men, we ain't gonna let none of that. But kids, they're susceptible to all of that type of stuff.
Yeah, man, especially if that's all they know. We grew up without it, so it's different for us. We use it as a tool.
Bullies.
Yeah,
real bullies. Don't walk down that. Real bullies, not cyber bullies, but that can have an effect mentally on them, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what it does. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have that type of stuff. So, we see all of this stuff, man. Kids committing suicide over that. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
One last question for you before we get out of here, Ed. Talking about your stepson. So when you came into his life, you said he's 30 now?
Yeah.
So did he come into your world already when you had your first daughter, or was he your first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter was 2 or 1, and he was like 3.
Okay. And how was that transition for you? Because that's not always the easiest thing for guys from dudes that I know, especially when they get into relationships and it's a boy as opposed to a girl that's already in the mix. It can be kind of a different because it's almost like a clash of attention that you guys are dealing with.
I mean it was pretty smooth, man. He's a good kid. Really no drama, nothing like that. No jail, street shit neither, because we kept tight locks on, the kids. And by the time he got 18, he got a little brolic, and then, he set out on his own, and that was it. He's been good ever since. But other than that, it's a process, man. You have to deal with other parents that are involved, his father, you know what I'm saying, and in different situations like that. But overall, a real man can handle anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Can raise as many kids as you give him if he's that's what he's trying to do. So I think you have your ups and downs, man, but you can work through it, man. It's not that difficult. You gotta be on the same page. The whole fam has to be on the same page in order for that type of stuff to work.
Yeah, true.
Yo, Ed, so I on our way out here, like, where can people check for what you got popping right now? Like, how do they catch up with what Ed OG's doing?
You can check my Instagram, EdOG Pics, Pics. The link to the documentary is on there, so y'all can click on that. EdOG on Facebook, regular, and EdOG Boston Twitter, and ed-og.com. So any of those, holler at me. You can get at me.
And one thing I've noticed, I've seen a couple pics of both you and your son. You guys keep it positive with the smiles. So is that that's something
Always.
I picked up on? Yeah.
Listen, man, I try to smile in every picture because I'm enjoying myself, man. We've been through a lot in all of our lives, and we out here having fun. We in different countries, different states, cities. I'm smiling. There ain't nothing to be hardcore about. Like, I'm having a good time everywhere. So what am I mad about? I used to be mad in all my pictures in the 90s. I don't even know why now. I think it was because that was like the thing to do. Because I was happy, actually. But you didn't know.
Yo, Ed, man, it's a pleasure, bro.
Yeah, man,
this was a long time coming.
Salute to you brothers, man.
Appreciate
Salute to y'all, what y'all doing, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, bro.
And we need you on Drink Champs as well, man.
Please, I will, when I get back down to Florida, as soon as y'all get y'all governor bullshit, DeSantis out there.
We're never going to get our shit together in Florida, man.
Oh, man. I'm ready to move there. Like, I'm ready to move. I've been going so much there. And, man, but just got to get those guys out, man. That dude is terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. No, he is.
Oh, man. But yeah, when I come back down, I'll definitely I'd love to do that.
No, it'd be an honor, man, for sure.
Appreciate you.
All right, bro. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Right. Salute y'all.
Peace, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yep. One.